Welcome back to the Airborne Podcast. I'm your host, Ajit. That's Big Boy Brabs with us. We got Thanos back on the podcast. This is the official end of the season awards episode where we talk about all the candidates, all the runner-ups, and the winners of these awards, our predictions, what we think will be the end result, and who we think will be holding each trophy at the end of the season. We're going to start off with the Coach of the Year. And there's been this season, it's been a whirlwind with the whole COVID situation. Every team, every coach hasn't had his full roster at times in the season. But the coaches that stood out this season, we're going to start off with the coach out of New York, the coach from the New York Knicks, Tom Thibodeau.
Yeah.
He's one of the candidates, one of the leading candidates with the way he's got that whole roster to play defense. Has one of the top defenses in the league, and he's transformed. Him coming into the picture has transformed Julius Randle into a whole different, complete player. And whatever the New York Knicks were before, which was a laughingstock of the NBA for the past few years, that's slowly disappearing, and it's becoming a destination. Not exactly right now at this very moment, but it's definitely a place that people are probably start considering to go in a year or two. So we got Tom Thibodeau as probably the leading candidate. These are the candidates overall. Tom Thibodeau from the New York Knicks. You got Monty Williams from the Phoenix Suns. You got Doc Rivers from the Philadelphia 76ers. You got Quinn Snyder from the Utah Jazz. And you got Steve Nash from the Brooklyn Nets. I would say Steve Nash probably, I didn't even feel like putting him in this category.
Weird.
Because he has three superstars. The only reason I'd even give him a vote or two is because of the fact that he didn't have a healthy team throughout the whole season.
Weird.
He's always had one star or even two stars, maybe sometimes even all three of them out.
Mm-hmm.
But he has a super team.
I have my money, sorry, I cut you off, but I have my money on Tim Thibodeau. I think if I was
Tom Thibodeau?
Sorry, Tom Thibodeau, my bad. I would vote for Tom Thibodeau. Just because the way he transformed the Knicks organization is huge. It's huge. Knicks are in the playoffs for the first time in 8 years, right? You have players like RJ Barrett, who didn't really have a good rookie season, who's doing really well in the sophomore year, right? You have players like Julius Randle, who came out of his shell. This guy's been in the league for 6-7 years already, and he's finally making an impact. He's finally growing. So, big ups to him. So, and you have role players like Derrick Rose coming back. You have Taj Gibson. Those two players are obviously they're not emerging, but they're stepping up into the role, right? And Tim or Tom, whatever it is assisting them in that, right? And then you got what's his name? Noel. That guy was supposed to be a part of the process, right? Trust the process. He was supposed to be part of it. But then I guess he didn't fit the system, had too many injuries, whatever it is. And he's finally emerging, right? Has got 2-3 blocks per game. His offensive production is in there, but he's assisting them with some way, somehow. So I think as overall, the Knicks roster is doing, the Knicks team is coming together, and huge shout out to the coaching staff.
One thing I did want to... Yes.
Go. No, go finish.
No, one thing I was going to say was, off your point about Derrick Rose, Taj Gibson, they're former players from the Chicago Bulls, from the Minnesota Timberwolves, that they're familiar with his system and how he likes to play. And with Nerlens Noel, like you said, trust the process. Ever since Mitchell Robinson went down, he's been the anchor of their defense. And, he came in from Kentucky being basically not just
weight on his shoulder.
Yeah, a lot of weight on his shoulder. He was supposed to be number one pick, but he got the ACL injury. Yeah. And they thought he was going to be another Anthony Davis, but his offensive game isn't there. But definitely defensively, he's elite, and he's proving that in the starting role ever since Mitchell Robinson went down. Yeah, to your point. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just to go on with Brav's point, the fact that Tom Thibodeau Like he's one of the leading candidates for the coach of the year. But like even what he said about Rose, Taj Gibson, those are the type of veterans that like let's say Chicago Bulls are looking for, like those type of players that like have that it factor, or that could take them to that next level. But I would either say it's New York or the Phoenix Suns, because of the fact that Phoenix Suns have been like out of the playoffs for I don't even know how long, since what, like
9
2009, right? Yeah.
since Steve Nash was playing.
Yeah. So that's like, I mean, both of those teams have been irrelevant for like a long time, and obviously either one, I wouldn't mind either one getting the coach of the year, because they both did spectacular for both teams. But yeah, like just like I don't really think that Steve Nash, Quinn Snyder, like Utah was already known as a playoff team. They're gonna become like a top 3, top 4 team anyways.
Yeah.
So I don't really consider him as a coach of the year, because like you already know that Doc Rivers. I mean, Doc Rivers pretty much like I feel like he's been on a contending team. He's been coaching a contending team throughout his whole life.
Yeah.
So I don't really consider that. Yeah. But like those two coaches, I'm cool with.
With the Phoenix Suns point that you were making, Monty Williams, even in the bubble, they ended off that whole bubble run 8-0, and so they were already on the up and coming. Chris Paul was the final piece that they went and traded for in the offseason, and it's panned out. They have the second best record in the Western Conference, and like you said, I wouldn't mind if Monty Williams won it or if Tom Thibodeau won it, because they both haven't been on a playoff run in such a long time, and they're well deserving of this award. But at the same time, I disagree with what you said about Quinn Snyder and Doc Rivers, because Quinn Snyder, no matter what it is, even if you can't discredit them because they're already a playoff contender.
No. Yeah.
And who would have thought that coming into the season, based on how everything ended last year with Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell getting into arguments, and then them blowing a 3-1 lead and losing to Denver Nuggets with that last shot where Mike Conley's shot went off the rim, almost went in, but it missed. And coming back and building that connection, the continuity, and literally having the number 1 seed from the start to the end of the season, and no one expected that to happen. So Quinn Snyder definitely did some.
No, like I do agree with you, but I'm just saying, based off the fact that those two coaches, like Tom Thibodeau and thing, those two coaches have, like, I mean, they've been in and out of the league for I don't know how many times already. And for them to actually get an actual team that they built, that they actually have a connection with, and they actually found a way to get them to the playoffs, that's what I'm talking about. Like, they were able to do that. And I feel like those two coaches alone deserve the credibility and like the honor to get the coach of the year. If anything, I wouldn't mind if both of them get coach of the year. Like have two coach of the years. Yeah.
I want to add
no discredit to like those other coaches. Like those coaches are doing well too. But like you already know for a fact that Utah and stuff are gonna be a contender regardless. Same with Philly. Philly have been like a top 3 team since, like, trust the process.
Yeah. No, I want to quickly add a quick point about the Quinn Snyder comment. It's not easy fixing relationships where, the whole with the Spider and what's his name, Rudy Gobert. Like in the professional aspect or professional environment, fixing those relationships is not easy. It's difficult. So big ups to the leadership team in Utah for fixing that and making it come back. A lot of people would have walked away. They'd have been like, yo, screw this. I don't want this guy to be my center. I don't want this guy to be a point guard. F this, F that. Get me out of here, right? A lot of people would have given up. That leadership team, they brought the glue. They put them back together, and like now they're gelling, right? So big ups to them, because that ain't easy.
Yeah, they say time heals all wounds, and at that time, at the very beginning, when Rudy Gobert didn't take the COVID situation seriously, no one had it up to that point. It was Rudy Gobert, the first person to get it, and then the whole season got shut down.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell, at that time, there was no vaccine and stuff like that, how it is now, where it doesn't seem like it's that serious as it was before, even though it's taken a lot of lives. I mean, obviously, they've got time to mend, and that bubble definitely helped because they were in each other's face basically all the time. With the Doc Rivers point, I mean, the Philadelphia 76ers haven't done anything big. They haven't got to the conference finals. They've been bounced out in the second round and the first round the last couple of years. And Joel Embiid hasn't. He's out like he's basically had a breakout season this year.
Yeah.
All Doc Rivers, and Doc Rivers is one of the reasons why Seth Curry came over to the Philadelphia 76ers from the Dallas Mavericks, because he's his son-in-law, right? And he's a solid shooter. And you know, their whole problem was from a few years ago, they let go of all their three-point shooting. They brought that back with Danny Green, Seth Curry. They got Korkmaz, and Thibault is iffy here and there, but they got Tobias Harris as well. And so, like, they have their shooting. They have their two solid all-stars. Borderline, I would say Ben Simmons is a borderline superstar. But Joel Embiid breaking out like that, like, there's no answer for that dude if he goes at it. If he really puts his mind to it. Doc Rivers has really put that mentality into those guys. And they had the number one seed from basically start to finish as well. Yeah. So they definitely deserve votes. I don't know if they're going to get the coach of the year. It seems like, to your point, Tom Thibodeau and Monty Williams, it's a race between those two. But I wouldn't be surprised if any of the other guys got it.
Right.
Because they both, in their respective conferences, Quinn Snyder has had the number one seed from start to finish, basically.
Yeah.
And same with Doc Rivers with the Philadelphia 76ers in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
Sixth Man of the Year award. We got three candidates. We got Jordan Clarkson from the Utah Jazz. We got Joe Ingles from the Utah Jazz. And we got Tim Hardaway Jr. from the Dallas Mavericks.
No, this is easy, man. Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah.
That's straight up easy. Yo, this guy.
I think for me, it's either Joe Ingles or Jordan Clarkson, honestly. Like, they both.
Clarkson came from the Lakers, and people were busting his balls, yo, for like saying he's a bust and like he's trash, whatever, right? And but a lot of these guys who were part of that Lakers roster, like Brandon Ingram, Jordan Clarkson, who else? Fuck the guy in Minnesota. What's his name?
Josh Hart.
Josh Hart.
From D'Angelo.
Yeah, D'Angelo Russell. Like, all those guys were on the Lakers together at the same time, right? And they all split. Alonzo Ball too, right? All those guys were on the roster at the same time and split apart. And look at them now, right? They're doing well. Like, Clarkson this year has 18.
Lonzo Ball wasn't there till after that year after. Yeah,
like, those guys all were on the Lakers and now they're doing well, right? It's pretty much my point. But Jordan Clarkson dropping 18 points this year and 4 rebounds and 2.5 assists off the bench. Yo, these are starter numbers, man. These aren't bench numbers. These are starter numbers, yo. So my vote's for him.
No, but to go on with your point, like, Jordan Clarkson, like, his issue is not being consistent enough. Like, he would have those games where he dropped like 20 points, 30 points a game. Yeah. Like one game and then start shooting like 10 points, like start breaking his shots. But this year he's kind of been really consistent. Like, if you see his stats, he's been dropping like 10 to 20 points a game. Like,
100%.
It's good numbers. And efficiently too. Like, he's dropping numbers efficiently. Like, I don't know what he's averaging, but what was his average like from field goal?
Jordan Clarkson?
Yeah.
Clarkson's average this year, field goal is 42%. 42.5% percentage.
Yeah. 42% from the field and 35 from the three. That's pretty efficient to me.
100%.
Yeah. And he's shooting he's shooting almost about 9 threes a game. He's taking 9 attempts actually.
For this season, he's averaging 90% from the free throw line, 89.6 to be exact. He's making 3.1 threes per game, 18.4 points, 4 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 0.9 steals, 0.1 blocks, and 1.7 turnovers.
Okay.
So he's increased his his scoring average by 3 points from last season. And you remember he came over from Cleveland in a trade to the Utah Jazz, so he was there like not from the beginning.
Yeah.
He got that 6-man role as soon as he got there. He just improved his work. He perfected his craft and he improved his work.
Yeah.
Improved his game, sorry. Yeah. I would go with Jordan Clarkson over Joe Ingles and Tim Hardaway Jr. Tim Hardaway Jr. hasn't been the most consistent, and he has guys like Josh Richardson and now JJ Redick to kind of take the load off of him a bit. But the Utah Jazz depend on they depend on they depend on Jordan Clarkson, kind of like what the Clippers did when they depended on Lou Will last season.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he's like that spark off the bench, and he's basically the main guy. Aside from, I mean, obviously they have Joe Ingles too, but I would consider Joe Ingles more of a starter than anything.
Yeah.
I think they put Royce O'Neal in the starting lineup. I think, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but isn't Bogdanovich is on the starting lineup too? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe Ingles for the season, though. Joe Ingles for the season, he's averaging 48.9% from the field, 84.4% from the free throw line, 2.7 threes made per game, 12.1 points, 3.6 rebounds, 4.7 assists, 0.7 steals, and 0.2 blocks with 1.7 turnovers.
Jeez.
He's increased his scoring by 2 points a game as well. But he's more of a facilitator for that second unit, even the starting, right? Like he's had a story too. Like he was on the Clippers summer league team or something like that, I believe, a while back. And Doc Rivers, when he was the GM and the coach, he cut him, and then he found a home in Utah, and he's been able to take advantage of that. And last but not least, Tim Hardaway's stats.
Tim Hardaway, he has improved significantly since his time in New York. And even his rookie year, like this guy, he's not a journeyman, but it took him a while to get the ball moving. You know what I mean? Like
he had a couple stints with New York. Like he got drafted by New York, then he went to Atlanta, then he came back and signed with New York, and then he got traded to Dallas.
Dallas, yeah.
So Tim Hardaway Jr., 44.7% from the field, 81.6% from the free throw line. He makes 3 threes per game, 16.6 points, 3.3 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 0.4 steals, 0.2 blocks, and 0.9 turnovers per game.
Jeez.
His scoring average hasn't really increased that much. It's less than a point, 0.8 to be exact.
Yeah.
But
my money is Jordan Clarkson, yo.
Yeah, if I were to say who has the best impact off the bench, and the perfect example was literally when Donovan Mitchell wasn't playing for them against the Raptors, and you saw what Jordan Clarkson did.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Yeah. So we're going with Jordan Clarkson?
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, cool. Rookie of the year. Now, there's 2 candidates straight to the dome. But
Wait, before you get to your points, 'cause I know exactly who you're going to talk about. Man, this whole season or beginning of the season, I have my money on Tyrese Halliburton from the beginning. From the get-go, I have my money on him. I thought he's going to fulfill. But, man, it sucks he got injured, yo, because that kid was like, I think he was like, what, 12th overall or like something like deep in the tens is when he got drafted. But he came through, like he had a lot of he had a lot of good games in the beginning prior to his injury. Sucks he got injured. But if he wasn't injured, definitely he would have been my candidate for Rookie of the Year.
For the Rookie of the Years, yeah, you're right about Tyrese Halliburton. He was the 12th overall pick by the Sacramento Kings.
Mm-hmm.
But there's basically only been 3 guys in the running. Unfortunately, James Wiseman went down with the meniscus tear.
Yeah.
And he's out basically for the whole season. Like he barely played, and he was also out with some health and safety protocol issues as well.
Yeah.
But he was a number 2. He was a number 2 overall pick. Wasn't a factor in the Rookie of the Year running.
You got LaMelo, right? That's who you got?
Yeah, I got LaMelo Ball as one of the runners. I got Anthony Edwards and then Tyrese Halliburton.
Mm-hmm.
All of them, except for, LaMelo Ball and Tyrese Halliburton got hit with injuries. I thought Anthony Edwards was going to win the award because once LaMelo Ball went down, the word on the block was that he wasn't going to come back.
Yeah.
But then he came back and he put himself back in the discussion. But the only way I think Anthony Edwards would win this award is because of the consistency in terms of the games he didn't miss and the ones he played. And as soon as LaMelo went down, this guy went on a tear, dropping like 40 pieces, having crazier games than Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell. I think they're going to give the award to LaMelo because as soon as he came, they both, if you remember, They both were coming off the bench at the start of the season.
Yeah.
And then Minnesota fired Flip Saunders' son.
Yeah.
They brought in Finch, who was the Raptors' assistant coach. Was his name Chris Finch? I think I can't remember his full name. But
Yeah, or Kyle Finch or Chris Finch. Yeah.
I think it was Chris. Yeah.
He's
Chris
beat
Finch.
the Pelicans.
Yeah, he was close boys with Nick Nurse, and he was on our bench for a few weeks, and he got the job.
Yeah.
And and then they fired Flip Saunders' son, Ryan Sanders. I think it's Ryan Saunders. But
Ryan
they fired.
Sanders,
Yeah, they fired him because he wasn't playing Anthony Edwards in the starting role or featuring him more. And then once Chris Finch came in, that was a wrap. This guy went off. But I think in terms of winning, like impact of winning, LaMelo Ball, as soon as he got on the court, you saw it right away. Like,
100%. They went from a shitty ass team to like a huge impact, and at your point, this guy made people around him better, right? Look at Mikal Bridges, whatever his name is, right?
Miles Bridges.
Yeah, sorry, Bridges. He last season. Don't get me wrong, he was kind of quiet, right? You didn't really hear him in the stats, or you didn't hear him on the highlight reel. You didn't really know who he was, right? But this year, man, like LaMelo Ball improved his game. Like you can argue this all you want. I think he improved him and helped him become better of who he is today.
Mm-hmm. I think it's really LaMelo's facilitating. I mean, his shot's a lot better than his older brother Lonzo.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in terms of improving everyone's game, like he brings that flair and he brings that Showtime Laker type vibe where he has these crazy passes.
Yeah.
And, Miles Bridges has that Vince Carter type dunking ability.
Yeah. But you didn't see that prior. You did not see that last year or prior to that.
Yeah, because they didn't really have a lot of stars on that team, right? Like they were pretty much a laughing stock as well. I mean, they weren't relevant. Even when Kemba was there, they weren't that great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're killing it now.
Yeah, they only
two
made
different play styles, man. Like Anthony Edwards is more of he's more of a scoring punch.
Yeah.
Whereas LaMelo is more of just like a facilitator. He has offense, but I feel like Edwards brought in more of the offense, like as in consistent wise. Because like LaMelo had his moments where he was struggling a bit, and Edwards did too, but like he still dropped those numbers that were good enough. And like what you said, the injury that LaMelo got hit with, like that also has a factor playing in because Edwards was the most durable throughout the whole season, right?
Sure. Yeah, LaMelo, like I said earlier, like when Kemba Walker was even there, they only made the playoffs once, and LaMelo almost got him into the playoffs, basically. Well, Gordon Hayward was also a big factor in that. But if they hadn't got injured, if they were still healthy, they would have been a 4 or 5 seed.
100%. Yeah, for sure. I agree.
They wouldn't have been in the play-in like they did because they ended up losing 6 straight games towards the end of the season because they didn't have all their players. LaMelo was the runaway rookie of the year at the beginning.
Yeah.
But because of that injury, that wrist injury that he had to come back from, that gave Anthony Edwards some breathing, a chance, basically. Fighting chance to get back in the conversation, and he did. And Tyrese Halliburton, he would have been in it, like a serious discussion for him as well, but he's been out for a while now. But Halliburton for the season, he's averaging 47.2% from the field, 85.7% from the free throw line, 2.1 3-pointers made, 13 points per game, 13 points, 3 rebounds, 5.3 assists, 1.3 steals, 0.5 blocks, and 1.6 turnovers per game. Those are Halliburton's stats for the games he played. Anthony Edwards, 41.7% from the field, 77.6% from the free throw line, 2.4 threes made per game, 19.3 points, 4.7 rebounds, 2.9 assists, 1.1 steals, 0.5 blocks with 2.2 turnovers per game.
Jeez.
And LaMelo Ball, the best ball boy of the crew, the best of all three for the season. He's 43.6% from the field, 75.8% from the free throw line, 1.8 threes made per game, 15.7 points, 5.9 rebounds, 6.1 assists, 1.6 steals, 0.4 blocks, 2.8 turnovers per game. Now, the best ball brother out of the three of them showed up the minute he got a chance, and he was the youngest one to ever record a triple-double at 19, right?
Yeah.
And I still think he's going to win the award. But worst case scenario, it's a co-rookie of the year to him and
Yeah, I would do that.
And that last time that happened, I believe, was with Jason Kidd and Grant Hill.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so I mean, I wouldn't be mad if either one of them got it, to be honest. But I think, I mean, does it really, like, would you feel satisfied if you split the award? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like both players deserve it because of the fact they have a lot of pros and cons for each side.
Yeah.
I also feel like it's more of a popularity to me, to be honest. Like I feel like LaMelo has a lot of popularity. Like he has more of a, like he has more clout on him because of like even from his high school days, he's been having that. Like I never heard Anthony Edwards at all through high school or college. From my point of view.
Well, LaMelo Ball's clout comes from his dad the minute Lonzo Ball got drafted, which was
for sure. Like even the show too, like they have their own show and stuff.
Yeah,
like it's a lot of stuff that plays into the fact that he's getting that clout. But I mean, I wouldn't be mad for each side. Like if there's no rookie of the year, like if LaMelo gets it, it's fine. If Edwards gets it, it's fine.
It's all the hypes from them playing at Chino Hills in LA and LeVar Ball hyping him up. But one thing LeVar got right. I mean, talk all the shit about him all you want. The man's got two sons in the top 3 pick of 2 different drafts.
For sure.
One brother the middle brother got a chance with the Detroit Pistons but got cut. So
he didn't get a chance to play, man.
No, he got. Yeah, I know.
He was like a meme on the internet.
I know. All right, next category: most improved player. We have 3 candidates. Chill out for a second, buddy. Chill out. We got Julius Randle, we got Jeremy Grant, and we got Michael Porter Jr. Now, all these guys.
Yeah, this is tough, yo.
This is tough because, well, I mean, I think Julius Randle is going to be the runaway with it. No one expected it, even though he was the number 7 pick in the 2014 draft.
Yo, I'm at money on Jeremiah Grant, yo.
That's the thing, though. Like, no, wait, huh?
Jeremy, wait, before you go, Jeremy Grant was the one guy, like, I thought he was going to be the runaway for rookie of the, I mean, sorry, what am I saying? For most improved player.
Yeah.
But, like, once Julius Randle started stepping up and got the Knicks relevant again, like, you can tell that he was going to be the guy to get that award. He's going to be the guy to get that award.
Can you pull up can each of you guys pull up the stat for Julius Randle or Jeremy Grant?
Yeah, I'll do Jeremy Grant.
And you do Julius Randle. And Michael Porter Jr. was obviously supposed to be number 1 pick in that 2018 draft around the Marvin Bagley, Luka Doncic draft time. But he ended up being sorry?
And Trae Young.
Yeah, he was supposed to be like at least a top 5 pick for sure.
Marvin Bagley wasn't in that draft class, was he? I thought you were a year before.
No, Luka. It was
Luka, Trae Young.
No. It was DeAndre Ayton at number 1, Marvin Bagley number 2, Luka Doncic number 3, Jaren Jackson number 4, Trae Young number 5, Wendell Carter number 6, I believe.
Yeah, that was a low key good class, yo.
I think Wendell Carter number 6 and number 8. I can't remember, but
all right. Yeah, this season, my man, Jeremy Grant, sorry, had 33.9 minutes, 22.3 points, 42.9% field goal percentage. Rebounds, he has 4.6, and assists, he has 2.8. He had a good year, yo. He had a good year because he was their star player, right? Their alpha dog, right? In Denver, he was behind Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, the Joker, sorry. So he didn't really get a chance to shine. But second to Detroit and killed it.
You no one expected Jeremy Grant to put up these numbers. Like
Yeah.
if you told me, like if he signed with the Detroit Pistons, and you told me that he was gonna average 25 points, I'd call you like, I'd be like, that's ridiculous. Like what the hell? Like that type of player would drop 25 points when he was on the Denver Nuggets. Like he showcased like he was offensively good, but like I didn't think he would drop these numbers to a point where he would be that option, right?
Well, him and Mason Plumlee went from
Yeah, bro, Mason Plumlee too. Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, 3 years, $60 million contract. The man definitely outperformed that. But the only reason I think he wouldn't get this award is because all those like points didn't really convert into wins, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Julius Randle's the only one who was number one option. No one expected it to happen, especially after the season he had last year. He gets a new coach, a few new rookies, a few new players, a new system, and he turns out to be a whole nother machine this year. Triple double monster. He put some effort on the defensive end. They had one of the best.
He's the Siakam. I'm gonna keep saying this. He's the Siakam that we always picture to have.
Yeah.
I mean, either Jeremy Grant or Julius Randle would have been way more effective than Siakam this year for us.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
You know, that's neither here or there. But Jeremy Grant, all the credit to him. Like Brad said his stats were up there this season, right? He averaged 22 points, you said?
Yeah, 22 points.
Yeah. And he had like 34 minutes per game. But you're playing for a team that wasn't contending for a playoff spot or nothing, basically back in the lottery. So when you have a team like that, you can go off like that on any night, right? Julius Randle, I think he's going to win the award. He stood out. He's carried this team, the New York Knicks, to the 4th seed in the East. And they weren't even projected to make the playoffs this year because they had pretty much a similar roster to last year, just a few tweaks here and there.
I was gonna quickly drop a bomb or say something, but I do agree with you guys. I think after hearing you guys talk, I think Julius Randle may run away with this just because he turned a team that was not a playoff picture. No one projected them to be in playoffs this year into a playoff team this year, right? So it was, this guy was unstoppable behind the three. He improved his 3-point game. His court vision improved. So big ups to him, So yeah, I actually do agree with you now. I think he will win.
To go on with Julius Randle's stats, I'm gonna just say his stats. Field goal wise, he averaged 45.6%. Free throws was 81.1. 3-pointers made was 2.3. The points average was 24 points. 24 points. Rebounds was 10.2. Assists was 6. Steals was 0.9. Blocks was 0.3, and he averaged 3.4 turnovers.
And for Michael Porter Jr. this season, I mean, his scoring average went up ever since Jamal Murray went down with the ACL injury.
Yeah.
But for the season, he shot 54.2% from the field, 79.1% from the free throw line, 2.8 threes made per game, 19 points, 7.3 rebounds, 1.1 assists, 0.7 steals, 0.9 blocks, and 1.3 turnovers per game. So Michael Porter Jr., he could possibly be a candidate, but he's not going to win it. With guys like Jokic, Aaron Gordon as a new person on the team, Jamal Murray that was there before the injury. He's like a third option on that team, right? So I don't think he's going to get it. Julius Randle seems like more than likely he's going to win it because he was the number one option. He was the number one option. Yeah, he was the number one option. He's carried that team, and that's all she wrote. So we all agree, Julius Randle?
Yeah.
All right. Defensive Player of the Year. We got a lot of candidates for this one, but
Chris Boucher.
Nah, he didn't make the list.
Oh, fuck.
Defensive, but we do got a bunch. Rudy Gobert, Ben Simmons, Miles Turner, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Kawhi Leonard, Draymond Green, Nerlens Noel. Now, these are just some of the candidates that I felt were guys worthy of it. Miles Turner was definitely a big candidate, but he only played 47 games with the injury.
But that guy deserves it. That guy is nasty.
Yeah, for sure. He was leading the league.
Ben Simmons is Defensive Player of the Year. he did play well this year defensively, but I don't think he's DPOI.
Like if you look at the stats, he doesn't look like a defensive player of the year. But if you watch their games,
Yeah.
he's guarding positions straight from 1 through 5, and I think it's a two-man race. I think it's Rudy Gobert who can go for a third defensive player of the year award, or Ben Simmons. Honestly, he could get his first one this season.
You wouldn't put Bam on that list, or you wouldn't put Miles Turner.
Miles Turner definitely would have been on the list if
Yeah.
he played a few more games, but I think because of the fact he only played 47 out of 72, I don't think he's.
I don't know, man. I don't think Rudy Gobert and Ben Simmons are on my top list. I don't think they deserve it. That's just me talking. I don't. I've always been a defensive player. I feel like people like Bam, Miles Turner, even the other center for the Pacers, he wasn't bad either. What's his name?
Sabonis.
Sabonis. But again, hey, everyone views defense TPOI a little differently, right? So
I kind of have to disagree with you about Gobert, because it's just the fact that like he had his moments where he dropped, like I think it was a game where I think there was a couple games where he dropped like 7 to 9 blocks.
Yeah.
Like he dropped a few stats there. He had another game with the 29 rebounds, even though it's not defensive stats, but like it's something to look into. But like if it wasn't for him, like I don't think Utah would be the team they are right now without his defensive mindset, right?
No, fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah, or you could go with I honestly feel like Draymond Green showcased his defensive status too. Like
Draymond Green, I think he showcased a lot of leadership this year, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
He showcased a lot of his knowledge and like his basketball IQ. I don't think like I'll be honest with you. I've never been a fan of Draymond Green's defense, especially the past few years where he'll kick people and play a little dirty. But I do think my love for him has strengthened because the way he's sharing his knowledge, and I respect that.
Yeah, for sure.
Giannis definitely applies for this. I mean, he won the Defensive Player of the Year. He's a reigning Defensive Player of the Year from last season.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Won MVP and Defensive Player of the Year, but I think Rudy Gobert or Ben Simmons is going to win it. I honestly think it's going to be Ben Simmons. Draymond Green definitely deserves some votes, especially with Clay being out and him and Steph being kind of the main guys on that roster.
Yeah.
But I think his assist game was better than his defensive game this season. But, he's always going to be in the running because Draymond Green, at his size, is guarding centers that are twice his size. And, kudos to him, but he's not going to win. He's not going to win for sure. Rudy Gobert, defensive.
Well, on the list, I'm looking at Draymond is second right now, and Simmons third.
Oh, geez.
Oh,
so,
no.
I mean, yeah, Draymond's second. So, I mean, there's a chance he could win it over Simmons, to be honest.
So, for the season. Sorry, go ahead.
I said we'll see. I guess we got to wait.
Yeah.
For the season, Rudy Gobert is averaging 2.7 blocks and 0.6 steals per game. And Ben Simmons for the season is averaging 0.6 blocks and 1.6 steals per game. Draymond Green.
Draymond's averaging, you want me to just list the steals and blocks?
Yeah.
He's averaging 1.7 steals and 0.8 in blocks.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's pretty close. I mean, I just want to see their defensive rating. But apparently Draymond Green was leading the league in terms of contests at the rim, in terms of people's field goal percentages at the rim.
Yeah.
But Giannis for the year is 1.2 steals and 1.2 blocks.
Jeez. All right, so who are you going with?
Nerlens Noel's 2.2 blocks and 1.1 steals. Miles Turner was ridiculous this season when he was playing, though. I just remember.
He averaged 3-4 blocks a game.
Yeah, he had 3.4 blocks with 0.9 steals. I think it's going to be Ben Simmons over Rudy Gobert and.
Yeah, listen. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, all of them have showcased their defensive style.
Yeah,
play.
I think because I think because Rudy Gobert and Draymond Green didn't win it, I think Ben Simmons is going to get it.
I think Ben Simmons did a lot better defensively last year because he averaged 2.1 steals last year.
Mm.
Like his numbers have kind of dropped compared to last year.
Okay, so
Like,
who are we going with?
I honestly, I'm probably gonna go with Gobert again.
Okay, yeah.
Gobert or Draymond, one of the two.
Yeah,
But,
I'm gonna go with Rudy Gobert. I think
yeah,
Rudy
we gotta pick one person. So, yeah.
Okay, so go with Rudy Gobert.
Okay, so Rudy Gobert is winning the Defensive Player of the Year for the third season in a row. And final MVP, most valuable player of the game of the year. I mean, this could go so many ways. It's the most valuable player of the team, most valuable player in the league, most points scored, because this right here is a very, very controversial topic.
Yo, can I give you my quick?
Yeah.
Yo, I have my money on Chris Paul.
Yeah, I would love, bro. I want to give the MVP to Chris Paul, but just knowing the fact that I don't think it's gonna be like that because the fact that he doesn't really. I don't think he's had that much clout in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Whereas like Joel Embiid, like
Okay.
even Steph, like those guys have gotten that clout in the beginning. Like they were already in the MVP talk before Chris Paul got into it.
Let me tell you why I want Chris Paul to win it.
Yeah.
My man is his 15th season in the league, 15, and he's still
16.
putting up big numbers, right? You don't see signs of him rusting or him falling apart. You see this guy getting better and better each year. And then he brought a young team that's raw, that didn't really have that leadership, that they didn't have that. They were missing a lot of pieces. They bring in Chris Paul, and they go from, I don't know, I think of the lower part of the top eight, the lower part of the playoff
Of the season, the conference, yeah.
Right, to a top 1-2 team, right? I think they're second right now, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're second. Yeah.
So
second.
you know what I mean? Like, and you see the improvement in Devin Booker. You see the improvement in and Aiton. You see the improvement in other role players, right? So, and obviously that's one. It's just not one player like Chris Paul, but Chris Paul brings a lot of leadership, asset, and skills to help others run better. So I don't know. That's just me.
If it wasn't, to go on with your point, if it wasn't for Chris Paul joining the Phoenix Suns, like I don't think the Phoenix Suns would be even. I don't think they would be relevant at this point because Chris Paul brings that it factor. Like he's known to be able to like step up at crucial, like at clutch moments and stuff like that. Like he's done it in OKC and he's doing it in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Regardless of how old he is, he's still a valuable player.
100%.
And he does bring a good case on how of becoming MVP this year. Like he should be like at least top 3. I don't know why he's top 5 in this list, but it is what it is.
He led the OKC Thunder in clutch points last season, and even this year. I mean, we always said this, like they were like the Chicago Bulls of the season last year, and they got a leader in Chris Paul who came in and helped them lead them the right direction. Lead them in the right direction, and now they're the second seed in the Western Conference. Probably going to get bounced down the first round because Lakers are 7th, but we're going to be 7th. But the thing is, like, if the Chicago Bulls had someone like Kyle Lowry, Chris Paul, they'd probably be in the playoff run right now too.
100%.
But as much as Chris Paul is that much of a leader, that great of a leader, and the best point guard in the league, he's not winning it. I'm going to have to go Nikola Jokic.
Okay.
Nikola Jokic.
Not a bad pick either, yo.
Yeah.
I just think he's going to win it. He's been the most durable this season.
Yeah.
Don't think he's missed a game. He might have missed one maybe. But, to play 70 games.
Yeah. And like Jamal Murray out, he stepped up. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, Jamal Murray went out and their team still didn't miss a beat.
Yeah. Fair enough. No, fair enough.
And his points average went up by like 5 points from last season. And if you see his impact on and off the court, bro, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But the top 5 contenders for the MVP award right now, I mean, LeBron James was in it. AD could have been in it after the run he had last year, but he isn't. Giannis obviously is going to be in the running, but he's already won 2 back-to-back, so he's not going to get third one.
Mm-hmm.
But the top 5 is Nikola Jokic right now. Joel Embiid's second, but he missed a lot of games, so he's probably not going to get it, even though he's been a monster this season.
I think Joel Embiid would have got it if he was not injured, right?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they were the number 1 seed. He was dominating for the most part, but he missed games. After that one injury he got, he missed like 20 games.
Yeah.
Chris Paul has been pretty durable, but as much as you want to say what we said all about him, we can praise him all he wants.
It's not
In his 16th season, he's not going to get it. I honestly thought at the start of the season, the way LeBron was playing, the way the defense was for the Lakers, the way they were coming out on a tear, I thought that LeBron was going to win his 5th MVP award, but then injury caught up to him because Solomon Hill with that ankle injury,
Yeah.
that high ankle sprain. But Nikola Jokic, he's averaging 26.4 points, 10.8 rebounds, and 8.3 assists per game. And he could have even been in the most improved running because he increased his scoring by 5 points.
Oh, yeah.
Or not even 5 points. What am I saying? 7 points. He increased it by 7 points. And he ranks in the league. He ranks 13th in the league for scoring, 7th in assists, and 10th in rebounds. And he had that one performance where he had a 47-point triple-double, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my brothers had Draymond Green on his team, Rudy Gobert on his team, Nikola Jokic on his fantasy.
Did he win though?
Nah.
He came top 5.
Doesn't mean shit, bro.
You know.
It is what it is, though. But I mean, to be able to lead your team in assists and all of that without your top point guard going down with the ACL injury and still keeping the team together,
takes a lot of toll on you. But he stepped up and was holding it down.
He's having fun. That's what matters.
It's like Devin Booker going down for the Phoenix Suns and Chris Paul holding them down, right? Like, don't think he would have been able to carry it because Jamal was averaging over 20 points a game.
Yeah.
Or close to. But Michael Porter Jr. this season missed 11 games. Will Barton missed 16. Paul Millsap missed 16. Jamal Murray missed 24. And Monte Morris missed 25. 30-year-old rookie Campazzo was the starting point guard for the Denver Nuggets. So
that's nice. 30-year-old rookie? What the hell?
Yeah, he's not young.
Shit.
And Joel Embiid, he missed 21 games. So he because Nikola Jokic is so durable, the 21 games look more than they really are.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Because if the race originally was between LeBron and Joel Embiid, and then Nikola Jokic just came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Dame Lillard was top 3 too. Like he was in there too.
But he got burnt out a little bit, and he had a little rough patches here and there.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But the process, Joel Embiid is averaging 28.5 points, 10.6 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 1.4 blocks, and 1 steal per game. And he's shooting 51.3% from the floor, 37.7% from the three-point line, and 85.9% from the free throw line. But the only problem is, like, even though Joel Embiid has had those numbers, Nikola Jokic's numbers are all better than that. His scoring is a little bit lower than Joel Embiid's, but he's shooting 56.6% from the field, 38.8% from 3, and 86.8% from the free throw line. So they're very comparable in numbers, but Jokic has his only edge over Joel Embiid is the fact that he plays 70 games. And playing 70 to 80 games in a season is very hard to do this year. I mean, like these days, because of load management and stuff like that, like people want to be healthy for the playoffs because of the championship run and playoff run, whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's not even like it's an 82-game season. This was a 72-game season where he played 70 games. Giannis himself, though, 28.1 points, 11 rebounds, 5.9 assists, 1.2 blocks, 1.2 steals per game on 56.9% shooting. But Giannis, that's the thing. For him in his cases, he's won 2 in a row back-to-back. So the people aren't going to favor him to win it again. But that's crazy, though. If Jokic wins it, that's going to be 3 years in a row where the MVP's been a player that is an American.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Steph Curry, can we make a case for Steph Curry the way he's played?
Steph Curry offensively, bro, this guy's like a straight up like he's a cheat code, man. I don't know about you guys, but this man's dropping like 6 threes a game, bro. Like it's ridiculous. 6 and more threes. Like
32 points per game, 5.8 assists, 5.5 rebounds, and nearly posting a 50-40-90 year. And you want to know his stats for his year stats, like what he's accomplished this year. 32 points per game leads the NBA, oldest to win scoring title since Michael Jordan. 38 30-point games, most since Michael Jordan. 337 three-pointers, most in the NBA. Fourth 303 season. That's the most ever in NBA history.
Jeez.
7-10 three-pointer games. So he had 7 games with 10 or more threes. That's the most ever in NBA history. And he's making 5.3. He made 5.3 threes a game, which is the most ever. And he broke the Warriors' all-time scoring record this year. Him and Bradley Beal were going back and forth, but Bradley got injured for the last couple games.
Yeah.
And he just took it and ran with it. Now, any other year, I think, if you were to give him the most exciting season and the most scoring outburst like that, he wins 100%. But because of the injury, it's hard to give it to him.
Yeah, but to go in with your point, I feel like this run that Steph Curry had this year kind of reminded me of that year when he had 400 and something threes.
Mm-hmm.
That season when he went off, like that MVP season.
The 79 win or 76.
No, I think it was before that, right?
What?
When he had 400 threes.
73 win season. That was that year.
Was it 73-9 season?
I blew the 3-1 lead to.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It was that year, yeah.
They blew the 3-1 lead to LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
The Cavs.
Yeah.
This guy had to mention that. Okay.
No, but there's a lot of people that had a crazy ass season this year. Doncic, Lillard, they could have been in it, and they're like in the contention for playoffs too. They're the 5th and 6th seed, respectfully. Kawhi Leonard, if he didn't miss so many games, I mean, he didn't miss that many this year. He only missed 20.
No, I feel like Kawhi is not the same Kawhi that he was in Toronto.
Yeah, I think our culture was way better.
He should come back.
Yeah.
He's not coming back. He's staying home. You know, one person that should be mentioned that isn't being mentioned in the MVP is Julius Randle.
Yeah.
Oh, I literally was gonna bring that up. I just forgot about it.
Fair enough. No, you're right.
Yeah. Julius Randle deserves to be in the MVP voting, like for sure. Like to bring the Knicks back
most
to the playoffs. Player. Yeah, like he should get both of the awards.
Like Steph Curry was basically like they're like, this is the year he's gonna get exposed. He's not gonna be able to score on people because he's getting double teamed and stuff like that. And he shut everybody up. He led the league in scoring and he shut everyone up, bro. Like he went off for so many games. He had a 62-point game this season, right?
Who?
That's me.
Steph Curry?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Let's go 62, right?
I think it's 62.
Yeah. But I'm gonna go with Nikola Jokic as the final MVP.
Yeah, it's gonna be Nikola Jokic for sure.
I don't see anyone else winning it. I think Nikola Jokic is gonna get it.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, I don't know how they look at this, but like Nikola Jokic, like they're not even the top seed, and he's going to win it. But he has the most impact, and I think Jamal Murray going down definitely helped his case.
Yeah,
along with him being durable.
For sure.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this video. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you agree with their picks, if you agree with what we said, leave it down in the comment section. Write whatever you guys want. You know, let us know who you're rooting for before they give out the awards.
Let's go, Portland.
We're going to be back with that whole playoff picture content soon enough because the play-in tournaments are happening right now, and we're going to give our predictions on who we think are going to make it round by round and who's going to finally end up with the 2021 NBA championship. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to it. What are y'all waiting for? Stop slacking, bro. And we'll be back as soon as the playoffs start. That's when the real shit comes around. And till then, stay blessed, stay woke, and please stay safe. Peace.
Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. The price I want for sure, you gon' need